we'll probably go to the big game now, as in definitely, as in Anway, Liverpool are playing Man City. For Man City, as in, would you say that Liverpool is a bogey team almost? Like, because Liverpool have had the number, right? As in, what do you say?
Yeah, I mean the biggest advantage for a team like us is the fact that it's a home game. When there is a big game for Liverpool, you've seen the European nights at Anfield. You know the atmosphere. You know that complete vibe that you get, that electric atmosphere. It'll kill the Manchester United play. I mean Manchester City players. They all fear that. But and if you saw the AC Milan game as well, we were living on that fans cheering. We were living on all of that. So I think that's the biggest advantage. But at the same time, if you saw Manchester City playing against PSG, I think Bernardo Silva and Rodri were two extremely good players. So we need to have a look at that. But if you also look at Manchester City, like Krishna mentioned earlier, they don't have that number 9, right? They don't have that Harry Kane player.
Yep.
So I think Matip and Van Dijk, if they do start as a centre back for Liverpool, so I don't think there'll be too much of a trouble for them, because Ivan Toney against when we played Brentford, he was absolutely killer on the aerial duels. He was winning almost each ball. So yeah, man, I think that'll be one relief for us. But yeah, let's see how it goes.
Well, good call there, but Klopp will certainly study, how Man City beat Chelsea, right? As in, that was a great pressing game. Like Man City almost played the Liverpool game, if I may say so. So for me, I don't know. Like, Anway, like, do you see Klopp changing the tactics? Because if Man City goes for that early press, probably, as in something's got to give, and Liverpool has to play some other way, right? Do you see something
Definitely.
changing?
So I think there'll either be two main situations in the game. So first will be if City score the first goal, and if City score the first goal, then we know Anfield's going to be absolutely dead, pin drop silence. The players will be absolutely dead. But if we go out and score the first goal, like it's happened in the previous quarterfinals as well when we beat them 4-3. If we do that, then I think the fans will go absolutely crazy, and that's when we'll slowly pick up our pace and pick up the game. But I think as of now, what Jurgen Klopp needs to do is, if you've seen the past couple of games of Manchester City, I think Diaz and Laporte both aren't able to cope with the pace and with the runs that like a fullback or a winger make from behind. And we've seen Mohamed Salah's pace, we've seen Sadio Mane's pace, so I think that can definitely be a big problem for them.
Interesting. Yeah, then certainly, like, tactics is something we can talk about, but in terms of prediction, then what's your final prediction, and what do you go for?
So I would love to say it's a Liverpool win, but I think it'll end up being a pretty boring 1-0 win, 1-0 draw.
Wow. Wow. As an Anway, probably you're reading your mind. I don't know. I had written it down. Like 1-1 is what I've written it down, because I think Man City beating Chelsea, losing to PSG, probably will play a safer game this time, because they kind of want to get to the good end come the international break, and then probably start afresh again, which Man City can. But some people say that Man City are going on a run in the Premier League again, like last season. But again, every day is not a Sunday, right? Krishna, come on. Surely you're going for a Man City loss.
Yeah, I mean, I have to go for the City loss. It is going to be quite a tactical game, both managers knowing their potential. But I have to say Liverpool win it 2-1. Mo Salah being the man.
Wow. Ex Chelsea man, that's what I can say. Again, not really proud of letting him go. Yet again, I say it all the time. But moving on, I think to another game. Of course, Krishna is waiting for the Man United talk as well, because Man United are playing Everton. It is an early kickoff from what I remember this Saturday, so that will be in itself, an environment that you love, an atmosphere that can be created at Old Trafford, especially after that last minute winner that you got, so-called Fergie time. But anyway, uh, it is Everton, Krishna. Over the years, if I remember right, if my memory serves right, as in Man United have had an easy one against Everton at home, right? As in, that's something that at home they've done well. So obviously, I'm seeing that to continue. But I think the talk of the town is basically the midfield of Man United. It keeps changing. As in, Matic, out of all the people, is basically the savior in games. Like, come on, like
Yeah.
this guy is what, 37? I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. But Krishna, what do you think will be the midfield for this game?
The midfield, so I'll put it out there. I don't want to see Fred start or McTominay start, but because they're just not effective. Oli had a very unhealthy obsession with them and kept starting them. It honestly started to hurt me after a point. But I'd love to see Matic, of course, start. I'm not sure he'll be able to sustain the full 90 minutes considering his age, but even Donny, I think this is a perfect time for him to start because
Wow.
he's a very like quick player. You know that one touch passing, he lets the ball progress fast,
Interesting,
and
interesting.
yeah, I think those two will be a new experiment, of course, but I think we should go for that.
Yeah, because I think at the end of the day, Benitez is Everton, like very different to what it was under Ancelotti. Surprisingly, Benitez is also letting them play their football. So it's interesting that you pick, Donny there because for me, definitely, as in again talking about age, that was just a pun. Like obviously, Matic is he's playing well, right? He's back to kind of playing what
Yeah.
he used to. But yeah, surviving 90 minutes is a question mark against Everton. Again, Benitez, who's well structured in his teams as well, along with attack. So I can certainly see goals in this one. I don't know, like for me, I have actually called it a high-scoring game, and I can see Man United. And for me, again, Varane hasn't been his kind of best yet. I don't know whether he has it yet in the Premier League. Again, I hope he doesn't, but I think he will eventually, right? So I am actually calling it like a 3-2 Man United win. What's your prediction?
I haven't really thought. I'd probably say it's. I'd go with your prediction as well.
Wow.
Of course, in high scoring games, it tends to be more of a team performance. It's not really a one man performance that we see, and I hope that's something that we can produce on Saturday.
Interesting. Yes. Again, like would love it if they drop points. Everton again, they are among the top of the table as well. So they will be motivated for this one to kind of do well, especially kind of prove a point at Old Trafford, early kickoff and all that. But coming to you, Anway, what's your prediction?
Like you said, 3-2 seemed like a nice prediction because Luke Shaw and Maguire both are out. So
Yes.
and if you've seen the way Alex Telles plays, I was actually pretty impressed. So I mean, I think United will concede, but I'm not too sure about how many because Demarai Gray is playing exceptionally, but at the same time, Calvert-Lewin is out with an injury, with a muscle injury. So I think my final prediction will be 3-all.
Oh wow, we would love that, right? As a Liverpool fan, I'm sure Anway will love that as well. But certainly he knows his stuff, as does Krishna. So I think again for FPL managers out there, you just got some team news there. Make your substitutions fast right now as we speak. Lot of news and lot of predictions done, but I think we'll have to speak about little smaller teams as well. Don't want to offend them, but let's talk about the London rival, so-called rivals that we have. Spurs. Spurs, I think, are playing, if I'm not wrong, Villa. Villa are on a good run of form. Great away win that they got in Manchester United finally. And Spurs, well, they're just doing a Spurs yet again, and it's Nuno managing them. Uh, do you see Kane coming back? I don't know, Krishna. What's your call here? What's your prediction? As in, do you see this one going to Spurs' favor or Villa?
Especially after that loss last time to Villa, I kind of want to see them lose. And at the same time, I want to see Harry Kane perform. It's been very, very long, and I'm kind of like hungry to see that again. So I think that Son and Kane link up will show again, and I think it won't be high scoring. I'd say it's 1-0 win to Tottenham Hotspur.
Okay, one. I think that's pretty fair because the way Nuno plays as well, right? And Villa
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
score. As in haven't scored much. Strangely, they have the players, but they haven't scored much. So, Anway, what's your prediction for that one?
So even I'll go with a 1-0. I'm hoping for that same the Jose Mourinho Son link up with Harry Kane. So yeah,
Wow.
let's hope something happens.
I actually see an easy Spurs win here. So I actually see 2-0 here. But yes, all of us going for Spurs. Might as well get the other result. Like I won't mind if we get the prediction wrong, but yes, coming to the other team from London, they have been doing great. Of course, they beat Spurs hands down. They are getting the momentum right, as in of course the youngsters as well. Great performance by Emil Smith Rowe, like someone that I am really impressed by. As in when he played against us, also he was good compared to others. But anyway, Arsenal, I think if I'm not wrong, they're playing Brighton away, and Brighton, I think Brighton are top 16 now. Come on, like Arsenal are mid-table side. Like talk about as in this is basically the new era. Anway, what's your prediction for this one?
So, if I'm being completely honest, for the past couple of seasons, we've seen that the Premier League can be completely unpredictable. So, anything can really happen. So, honestly, I don't know what to go with, but I'm hoping Arsenal win because I want Arteta to get that momentum back because Arsenal do have a good team. So, yeah, I think it'll be an Arsenal 2-0 win to Arsenal.
Okay, that's an away win if I'm not wrong. And what about you, Krishna?
I'm gonna have to go Arsenal too. It's a very crucial stage for them. They've just beat Tottenham. They'll be on their high horse. It all depends on how they have to sustain that kind of performance, that kind of attitude. I mean, I'm sure you'd have seen all their celebrations. So they would be very pumped, very happy. Even Ben White playing against his ex club um, should maybe see some kind of rivalry there. But
Interesting.
I'd say it's 2-1 to Arsenal because I think Arsenal will concede.
Yeah, as in talk about celebration, I think Brighton again got a last minute winner recently, right? So for me, again, they will be on high as well, and this is something that they're not used to. So they'll try to stay there as much as possible. They'll give it all, knowing that Arsenal, can be beaten as well. So I'm probably going for a high scoring one. This one again, like I'm looking at it as a 2-all draw. But again, like a Chelsea fan, just predicting out there, pretty obvious, right? As in, so anyone could guess that. But yes, fantastic chat, guys. Krishna, Anvay from Front Street Podcast. A lot of other matches also happening, but people watching, do comment below with your predictions. We will collate that, like I've been saying, and have a prediction league soon. After the international break. But thanks, Krishna. Thanks, Anvay, and of course Fateh, who had joined us as well. For people who did not watch, please go back to the sections. Yes, in case you don't want to kind of watch every section because we've got a lot of this in the stream. There will be timestamps and of course video chapters out, so definitely you can go over them, and we'll be releasing a lot more videos, and with Krishna and Anvay hopefully back. So Anvay, firstly, thanks for coming on. Any last thoughts? Feel free to plug your channel as well.
It was great. It was great coming here. Had a great chat with both of you, and it was great hearing you talk.
Absolutely. And again, like, people, please follow the description because it's just a press of a button. YouTube link is there. Front Three Podcast, great upcoming podcast for me. I would highly recommend, and certainly smash the like as well as subscribe to us as well. But over to Krishna as well. Krishna, any last thoughts from you?
Yeah, I mean, had a great chat. Of course, I haven't been talking to Smeran that much with regards to Chelsea, so it was a nice change of things.
Of course, yeah, and I think also Front Three Podcast was may kind of missed it, but hopefully he comes on next time, and we have a lot more Chelsea chat as well. But I loved it personally, and would love to have you on again. Again, people watching, do share the stream because the more people watch it, the more discussion we'll have the next time we go live, so that they subscribe as well. And till then, take care, everyone, and just peace out. Almighty Blues will be back, right?